This video is brought to you by the Corsair Voyager Air, the high-performance wireless media hub for your connected life. Visit corsair.com/voyager-air to learn more.
Hey guys, for those of you that don't know me, my name's Slick. I've been using Android for about 3.5 years now, and I've been challenged to do a Blackberry iSwitched for 30 days. So I'm going to try out the Z10, we'll see how this goes. First thing anyone notices about a phone is the physical aspects of the phone. So it is kind of a large phone, but that's totally fine for me because I do have large hands, so it's not actually an issue for me. The only thing that I can find that I don't like about it, it has a good weight to it. I like phones that weigh a bit, and I like the back a lot. The texture on the back is nice, but I don't actually like that the plugs are on the side. That's a preference thing, so some people might like that, but if I'm going to put my phone in like the cup holder of my car or somewhere else where it's sitting in something, then being on the side might be a hindrance, because if I put it down like that, the cable could hit the side of the cup in my car or whatever. So I'm not actually a huge fan of the cables being on the side, but it's not really the end of the world. Mic plug and power on the top, and then you've got volume over here. You can take off the back right there, and the battery is kind of cool, but other than that, there's nothing that interesting back here except for your SD card. I haven't had a ton of experience with the camera. Right there, I've taken a few pictures. I took some inside of a hockey rink, through glass down to the hockey rink, and those looked great, but then I took some in my room that was closer lit, and those didn't look as great, but then that was with no custom settings or anything going on, so I'm not too sure about that. The next thing you'll notice about it is I did talk about its size, but if you look at its screen, which is quite large, you'll likely notice that it looks kind of gross right now. I did just try to clean it off, and I do actively try to clean it off. For anyone that watches the live streams, you'll notice that if I ever have my phone out, I'm constantly rubbing it on like the pant leg of my pants or whatever, because I do like keeping it clean. And that's actually a problem with this phone, because I cannot get fingerprints or anything off of it, no matter how many times I try. It's actually kind of crazy, but when the screen is on, you might be able to see it better because of reflection. I can't actually see the fingerprints quite as much when the screen's on, but again, due to reflection, you might be able to. When you first turn the screen on, you'll notice notifications here. It's actually quite nice because I can see I have 5 emails, 1 Facebook notification, and 2 general notifications. So it's kind of cool, so I can see what's happening. If I'm waiting for an email, I can actually see it come in without individually going in and checking my email. Then they have a, come on screen, turn on. They have a nice quick feature to get to your Blackberry Hub, which is the integration of all your different social networks, email, all that kind of stuff, which is swiping up and to the right. You'll notice that didn't work. I wish that worked from this screen, but you have to swipe this screen away. Well, I'm already there. Wait a second. There we go. This is what you'd normally get to, just I was already on that. And then if you go from the bottom and go to the right, it brings up your Blackberry Hub. I kind of wish it did it from the home screen, but I forgive it because Blackberry Hub is just kind of fantastic. It integrates all of your social media. It integrates all of your emails. You can have multiple emails on it. It integrates your BlackBerry Messenger, text messages, everything. So I actually really like that a lot. You can see everything in order as it comes in on the list, which is fantastic, because if you're just trying to quickly go through all your social media or text messages or whatever, you can quickly jump over here, do all that, jump back out, and go away. One thing I've noticed with BlackBerry so far is efficiency is kind of their deal, which is just absolutely awesome. I noticed the forum's down. That's not a good email to get. I'll have to jump on that after this video. Another thing, if you click on the hub button in the bottom left-hand corner, I'm going to cover this up so you guys don't see my personal email. You can go individually to different sections. So notifications, BBM, text messages, email, whatever you want. Just going to go back to hub. And then there, it's no longer the list of everything. It's the individual list for that app or whatever you have. So say it's email, you go directly to your email, and then it's just your email. So if you know you want to go to email, you can go individually to that, or if you just want to see everything at once, you go right into the hub. I actually really like this, and it's very, very fast to get to. So again, efficiency and getting things done on time is kind of a big point with this phone. As far as the App Store goes, this is day 1, and I have not spent that much time in the App Store. I've mainly been using the social media stuff and email and all that kind of stuff. But the first thing I noticed was that there isn't actually a Skype app. I've done a search here, you can see there's no Skype app. I don't know that many people that use Skype a crazy amount on their phones. Personally, I'm sure people do, but I do a lot because I use it for interfacing with my moderator team on the forum. So We have a personal Skype chat, so we can all keep in contact with each other very quickly to get things done quickly. And I have that pushed to my phone so that I can always see what's going on. If anything major happens, I can check it up. So it's actually kind of a big bummer that they don't have Skype chat. Like I said, I haven't spent that much time in the App Store, so hopefully other stuff is there. But Skype wasn't, so that was a bummer. I don't know how big of a deal this is. It's not actually that important, but you don't have to press the button on the top to activate your phone. If you touch below the screen and slide up, the phone will turn on. And you can do your full swipe right from there, which is kind of cool, but makes it that if you're cleaning it, like I said earlier, the screen gets very dirty very easily. If you're cleaning it and you go to rub it and it can detect your finger through the other side, again, it's not really a big deal, but the screen goes like crazy and it'll unlock itself and you might click something and stuff starts opening and it goes nuts while you're trying to clean it. So it's not really that big of a deal, but it's just kind of weird when you go to clean your phone and the screen goes absolutely nuts. I don't know. Again, it's only day one, so I haven't had a ton of time with this. There's a cat right there. Sorry for looking over that. But I've heard of this before I actually got the phone, but there's kind of a bedside mode that I've heard of, and I thought it was kind of interesting. I thought it was just kind of a low power thing. I didn't know a ton about it.
It opens up Pornhub.
No, it doesn't, just to be clear about that.
I'm sure you've used it already.
I have used it, but it didn't open up Pornhub, I can guarantee you that.
That's disappointing.
So what it actually does is when, instead of swiping up on this screen, when you swipe down, it brings down the bedside mode, which, as you can see, is not actually Pornhub.
It's terrible porn.
It's a clock, so I don't know what you're into, but you might be into that.
It's a clock that doesn't run for very long, optimized for you.
Wow. You can turn... Wow. You can turn on the alarm and off the alarm quickly and easily by swiping right here. And then if you want to change the time, you just click right on the time, change it to exactly what you want, go back, and you're good to go. One thing I noticed is that when you're sliding things away, very common feature with Blackberry is that if you're in an app, if you want to go away, you throw it away. That's kind of just how it works. There's no physical buttons. There's no major featured on-screen buttons except for like phone, search, and camera. So if you're in, say, music and you need to get out, it's not a single button that you press or anything like that. It's a single swipe throw away. One thing I noticed about this is, unlike, say, Android, there doesn't seem to be momentum on your flick. So you can't just kind of throw it off. Oh, that actually worked, but it doesn't usually do that. I usually have to take it all the way off. So I noticed...
Ooh, take it off!
I noticed as I do this, I get kind of the feeling that I'm like, oh, I'm done with you. Get out of here. And it kind of reminds me of like the snobby businessman. He's like, Blackberry, I'm done with your music. Get it away from me. I have other things to do. I'm busy. So, I don't know.
What kind of an accent was that?
A terrible one. That's what that was. And I'm sick, so please mind me.
You're always sick.
I am always sick. So, again, like with the hub, ties into the professionalism thing. You're done with something, it gets out of the way. There's no like slowly closing and all that kind of stuff. It's you throw it away, it's done. It brings you to this screen, which is recent applications. So if you only do kind of like 4 things on your phone, you can very easily jump into, say, music, like I just said, throw it away, and then jump onto something else that you do all the time. So that's actually pretty cool. Very efficient. Brings up the same thing I was talking about before. So if I go to a web page, let's say Home of Much, which is Much Music is apparently one of their default web pages.
So you don't go to Much Music anymore?
I didn't even know that existed.
I thought it was called YouTube.
So I'm hoping this will rotate. There we go. Do you notice the lag time in there? It's just kind of weird. I've had it a few times where I go to turn it, and then by that time I've kind of done it again because I'm waiting for it to actually, like, come on. Like I'm kind of expecting it to go a lot faster. So it's just kind of interesting how it takes a little while because the phone isn't slow, but the rotation is slow.
Here's a 1 for contrast.
Here's a HTC 1 for contrast.
It's a twitchy little bugger when it comes to the...
Like it's quick. It jumps really quickly. If you go like this on a 1, I'm assuming it just kind of goes nuts. Yeah. If I did that on this phone, it wouldn't actually ever make a rotation. Oh.
It's like 1 step behind you.
Oh. When I'm vertical, it's the wrong way. So I don't know. That's kind of weird. There is a rotation lock, but then this section right here, the like recent app things, will save if you had it rotated. So say if I go browser and then rotate it and then flick it away, then go back. Browser's still rotated. It's, again, not really that big of an issue, but it's just kind of weird. It's like, no, I'm this way now. Why are you the other way? Voice quality, I have had, I think, one phone call with this. I'll hopefully be having more soon. I don't have my personal SIM in here, so it's kind of interesting calling people. But voice quality sounded fine. Like I said, I've only used it once, so reception was fine for that time I was using it. But I haven't really, it was here. Like it was in the house and we're in kind of a big area, so I wouldn't expect reception to be bad.
How do you think 30 days is going to go?
30 days. I'm already like Android deprived, so that will be interesting. I have everything on my phone set up exactly how I want it. I have everything exactly where I want it to be. So now being on a completely different device is just kind of weird. And the only smartphone technology that I've ever used is Android. So again, being away from it is kind of weird. It's outside my comfort zone, but we'll see. I do like certain things, like the hub is kind of awesome. So I'm not that worried about like my emails and text messages and stuff, but I am worried about things like having access to Skype. I didn't really look for it, but I didn't see an official Reddit app. I don't like the screen rotation, how fast it is, but then usually I just lock my screen rotation anyways, so I'm not super worried about that. Worried about app support, but I think I might have already said that.
A couple times.
A couple times? I'm very worried about app support.
I think it was implied every time you talked about Skype. Right,
that makes sense. The phone seems fine, like the actual calling features of the phone. I'm on a Bell SIM, that seems fine. I don't think I'm ever going to have any problems with that. I don't know anyone else who has a Blackberry that I know of, so I don't know how much BBMing I'm going to be able to do. But from what I hear, it's awesome. So I'm probably going to be missing out more instead of actually being able to do it. I had to download Google Talk, but that's totally fine. And Google Talk integrates with Hub again, so that's totally awesome. I guess I should hold this up so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. But yeah, Google Talk actually integrates with Hub. So I had to download it from the App Store. It was there. It had a really low rating. I don't know why. I think it had like 2.5 stars. Works perfectly. Not sure what's going on there. It didn't have that many ratings, so that might be part of the problem. Yeah, I think that's about it. So hopefully in a few more days or a week or something, I'll have more to actually talk about as I will have used it more. But yeah, Linus is coming over. I have a feeling he's going to do something.
In case you didn't notice, I was operating the camera there.
Which probably made it terrible.
Yeah.
Well, but we'll see. Rate Linus's camera skills in the comments.
Tell me if I should fire slick or not. I can see all the fingerprints.
There's literally like nothing I can do about that. That's gonna look horrible. I don't even want to know what that looks like.